children, welcome to our new science class. Children, you wear a lot of different kinds of clothes. Now, do you know where do these clothes come from? In this chapter of fiber and fabric, we will know about the types of clothes we get from where. Now, do you know what is the need of clothes? Why do we wear clothes? We wear a lot of different types of clothes. We wear the clothes while going to school, when we are at home, while we are going to a party, going to bed at night, and for many other reasons like protection. The most important reason for wearing clothes is protection. Protection from what? From the climate, from the weather, and all. Here you can see why do we wear clothes? We wear clothes in different seasons. In rainy season, we use the umbrellas and raincoats. In summer season, we wear this kind of cotton clothes. In winter season, to protect ourselves from the cold, we wear woolen clothes. Then we use disinfectants on our clothes. We wear full clothes from for protecting ourselves from insects, and the school uniform that you wear, and it protects you from the heat of the sun. So these are some familiar reasons that we wear clothes for. Now, fiber. Now, these clothes are not ready to use at one step. These come from a lot of different raw materials which are gained either from the natural fibers or from the man-made fibers. Let's see what is a fiber. Now, clothes are made up of fibers. What are they? They are the raw materials used for making clothes. Now, what is a fiber? So, fibers are raw materials obtained from plants and used for making cloth. Fibers are of two types. First we have is the natural fibers. Now, what are natural fibers? These are fibers that are obtained from the plants and animals. Like you get cotton from the cotton plant, jute from the jute plant. So, these are the sources from where we get our things. Then we get the rubber from the rubber tree, wool from the sheep, silk from the silkworm. So this is how we get these fibers. We spin them up and we make them into different shapes and sizes. Then we have the synthetic or man-made fibers. The other kind of fibers is the synthetic or the man-made fibers. These are not found in nature. These are not a natural product. It is a man-made fiber that is made in factories from non-living things like erode oil, chemicals, etc. These are stretchable, wrinkle-free and dry very easily. So these kind of fibers give us a different kind of clothes, like the nylon clothes. But these synthetic fibers are also very dangerous. They catch fire easily, so it is not safe to wear them and work in the kitchen. Synthetic cloths are not good for health because they have no tiny spaces between the threads to let the air pass. That is why it is not safe to use when you are in the kitchen. Now, what type of clothes do we wear? During the summer season, we wear clothes made of cotton. These cotton clothes allow the body heat to escape. White or light colored clothes suit the hot weather, Why? Because they reflect the heat and keep the body cool. And cotton clothes have a quality of absorbing sweat also. In the cold weather, what do we use? We wear woolen clothes. These keep us warm. People living in different regions wear different types of clothes, depending on the climate and tradition of the region. The dress of persons living in Srinagar will be different from that of a person living in Chennai or Jaipur. So different places and different regions have different type of climate and weather. So according to that climate and weather, they wear their clothes. The kind of clothes they wear depend on the type of weather. So in the south, in Chennai, in Karnataka, Kerala, they have a normal climate. So they hardly need any kind of woolen clothes. In the northern part of our country, that is in Jammu, Kashmir, Nainital, Himachal Pradesh, these places are very cold. So they need proper woolen clothing. Then we come to Gujarat, Rajasthan. In Rajasthan, there are deserts, hardly there is any rainfall. So people hardly do they need any kind of winter clothing. So different places, different people wear different kind of clothes. Even these clothes are a factor that resemble and that tell us from which country we belong. Like in India, the women wear sari, while in Japan, the women wear the kimono. Now you can see here the woman is wearing kimono. She is a Japanese, and the woman is wearing a sari and she is Indian. The nurse and doctors wear white coats. They say that yes, they are in the job of nursing. The students of a school also are recognized by their uniform. So this is how the clothes are an identification of the place or a job. Then the making of clothes. The process of cloth making involves the following steps. First, collection of fibers. So for example, if we want to make cotton clothes, what do? We collect the cotton from the cotton tree. Then the next step is making threads or yarns. Now collecting cotton and then spinning them into threads, and then third step, turning threads into cloth. Now these are then woven into cloths. Then these cloths are then given a proper color and bleaching. And finally, the printing, finishing and stitching of cloths is done, and then it comes to us to get it worn up. Now, making threads or yarns. How are threads or yarns made? The process of making these threads and yarns from the fiber is called the spinning. In olden days, people used to spin in the charkha. You must have seen Gandhiji. He used the charkha to spin his own cotton threads, and they were then spun into clothes. And these people who are engaged in spinning are called the spinners. Then we come to the next step of weaving. The threads or yarns are then woven to make cloth. These include large machines which are called looms. And those people who weave these yarns are called the weavers. Then come to dyeing and printing. The dyeing is the process of adding colors to the cloth. As I said, all the spinning of threads is of the same color. Cotton is white, so everything will be white. So if we need a different color, we dye these cloths and we give them a beautiful color, and then printing is done on it. Now coming on to the finishing of products. Then the roughness of the product is smoothened up, and finally we come to the stitching, and the tailor gets it to stitch the clothes. Now, these clothes, after being woven up and prepared, these clothes really need care. Now, what kind of care should we give to these clothes? Wash and iron them regularly. Silk clothes should be dry cleaned. If the clothes get torn, then they should immediately be repaired by stitching. Before storing clothes, they should be kept out in the sun to get rid of germs. And finally, naphthalene balls or dried neem leaves should be kept between the folds of the cloths so that they are protected from the insects. Now, this is all about the fiber and fabrics. How do we get clothes? How the fibers are finally woven into finished fabrics which we wear beautiful clothes on. So, this is all about in this story. Have a happy learning. Bye bye.